Hello everyone, it's Diane and I'm working on a new set of journals, and they are mermaid journals. I have my tripod set up a little differently today and I won't be able to glance at the viewer to see. I can see it, but I can't just glance at it. I have to move my head to see it, so I'm hoping that I'll keep everything in frame while I do this. This is going to be a craft with me or process video. I am making 3 mermaid journals. I'm using Mrs. Cog's Mermaids and Ivy Shutter's Song of the Sea papers, plus a couple images that I got from Pinterest. I purchased this fabric. It's a heavier, like a twill fabric. It's got seashells and underwater plants and things on it, and I thought it was perfect. Look at that. I thought it was perfect for a mermaid journal. So I have 3 covers here in various stages of completion. I wonder if I should zoom in a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to like this angle, but we're going to try it because, I don't know, I wish I didn't have a tripod. I wish I could have a camera over my workspace so the tripod wouldn't be in my way. But anyway, this cover, as you know, I usually make my books out of vintage book covers. Okay. But I don't have an appropriate book cover for a mermaid journal, even a plain one that I could decorate. Excuse me. So I made my covers out of chipboard, a nice heavy chipboard that I have. I have 12 by 12 sheets of this that were given to me by a friend who no longer wanted them, and they are awesome. I'm so appreciative of those. So I created the covers from the chipboard. I cut the chipboard pieces to, I know it's 5.5 by 8, and then the spine is 2 by 8. So this one is done and decorated. You can see the mermaid there. And I love the inside paper, but I only had one. I've had it for quite a long time and I finally got to use it. I wish I had more of it, but I don't. So then I have this one that is constructed and covered, but it's not decorated. I'm using the same fabrics for all 3, but the inside papers are speckled green. And then this cover, excuse me, is constructed but not covered at all. So let's just get to work on this one and then we'll decorate both. I did cut my fabric pieces, so I just cut them the size of the cover, but with extra to wrap around. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to, first I want to decide which one is going to be on the front. I want the Tyvek on the inside, because on this one I goofed and I put the Tyvek on the outside. I flipped it around so you can see the writing on it. So I'm going to have to put something over the spine after I sew the signatures in. I may have anyway, but so I could either have this one on the front or this one. I really like that, a coral, so I think, or is it it's a plant, I guess. So I think we'll use that one. I still have a little blue on my fingernail from working with alcohol inks 2 days ago. So I'm going to use my 3-in-1 glue and just spread it around on the front cover. Any videos I do right now are going to be pretty short because I have to turn off my air conditioner while I'm filming and my fan. I can't have either of them on. So I turned turned my air conditioner off and I'm already feeling it. So these will be short videos, and then I can turn the air on again and then I can come back. It's been pretty hot here. It is cooler now, but it's still going to be in the 90s today, I think. But it was, I know some of you are in hotter climates. I'm in Pennsylvania. I don't know how you can live down south. I can't. I couldn't. But I just can't tolerate the heat very well. We had temperatures over the weekend in the like 99, 98, 99, but the heat index was 110. And it's not quite that bad now. And it's still early in the morning. Well, I guess it's not so early in the morning. It's 11:15. Time flies. Well, to tell you the truth, I got up late today because I had 2 nights in a row of really bad not sleeping. So I was, does that make sense? Really bad not sleeping. I was up last night till 4:30, and I was in here working. I did some organizing of my vintage fabrics and stuff like that. And then I was in here working on these covers. So I just put glue around the edge of my cardboard. I'm going to fold in the corner like that. Should put a little glue underneath that to hold that fabric together. So anyway, yeah, I was working on these journals at 4:30 in the morning, and the night before I was doing stuff until 2:30 in the morning. So I slept late. The good thing is I don't have a job to go to. This is my job. And I was doing it in the middle of the night, so it's okay. I really don't like getting a late start to the day. I probably shouldn't have put it all the way around, just one at a time. But I was talking and not thinking. So I usually go to the flea market up with the barns once a month, but I just went this past weekend, but I have to go. I'm going to try to go again this weekend because a lot of you have asked see if I can get some more slides from that lady who said she had some. I don't know if she'll have them with her this weekend. But I can tell her that we're interested in them because I told her I didn't know. And piano rolls, the player piano rolls, a lot of you are interested in them. So I'm going to see if I can get a deal on 20. I don't want to pay $4 each if I'm going to get that many. Even though I'll be selling them to you, I'd rather get a deal on them. So I'm going to ask him if he'll give me a deal on 20. So if you think you're going to want piano rolls, or to save on shipping, you could even let me know that you want pieces. I can cut them up and give you pieces of them. Let me know so that I know how many piano rolls I need to buy. Oh, I'm already getting sweaty. Okay. Oops. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just babbling because, trying to fill the time. Keep you entertained while you're watching me glue. Gluing is boring. I would like to have a little bit wider piece of fabric there, but we'll make it work. it's also not very wide down here. I didn't put that on centered properly. And now I've got glue on my fingers, and the fabric and the raveling fabric is sticking to my fingers. Look at that. It's hard to work like that. Time for a baby wipe. So I was thinking, I've got a lot of vintage buttons now. I've gotten quite a few at the flea markets that I've gone to. So I want to bundle them probably in bags of 50 and put them in my shop. But I thought it might be fun for my grandchildren to help me count them. I thought they could count them into piles of 10, and then we could put 5 piles together to get 50. And then they would be helping me with my shop. So whenever buttons sold, they would get profits from it. I thought that would be fun for them, and maybe fun for you. I thought if I get all 3 of them here, because 2 are my daughters and 1 is my son's, but they're here together sometimes, quite a bit. So if I can get them all here together and they can work on that, maybe I'll do a little video of them counting the buttons, because they love to be on my YouTube channel, and you guys seem to like to see them. I wouldn't make it a very long video because they're just counting buttons, but I thought it would be fun for all. And might be fun for you to be able to purchase the buttons that you saw them counting. All right, I think we've got that fabric on. Pretty good. And I took this striped fabric. This was a piece of the vintage fabric that I got at the flea market a couple weeks ago. And I love the color because it matches that blue that's in the fabric. So we're going to put that on the outside of the spine. So I'm putting some glue. I'm not putting it all the way to the edge, to the ends, because when I lay it down over my book, I sometimes forget and I glue all the way to the edge, and then the glue gets on my work surface here, and I don't like that. It's messy enough as it is. Could get a little bit on there anyway. So now I'll just glue the ends and fold them up. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Gotta clean the end of this. Well, I went to the outdoor flea market on Monday, July 2nd. And I did a video, but I'm not going to upload it until I have stuff ready to put in my shop, because sometimes it's a bit overwhelming when I do a video. And I am grateful that y'all want the stuff that I purchase. That's the point. That's why I do it. But I have to wait until I'm actually ready to list stuff in my shop, or else I just get overwhelmed. And last week I did shop stuff, put stuff in my shop, and did a lot of non-creative stuff. And so this week I need to be creative. So I will eventually get that stuff ready to put in the shop. I try not to wait too long. And then I'll upload the video so you can go right to the shop and get what you want. But I never want to discourage you from contacting me for any reason. Always feel free to contact me and ask me questions about anything. I'm just trying to learn how to manage my shop, and still, I'm pretty much spending all of my time on stuff for the shop, one way or the other. And that's okay. I expect that, because I'm just kind of starting with, expanding it. I just started expanding it this year, and then when I quit my job, I had to, do more with the shop, so I still have an income. Let me see if this is too big. Nope. So I'm still learning how to manage everything, so it's a learning process, and I'm learning what I can handle and what I can't. Okay, I think I will trim off just a little tiny bit on that one. It's a little bit bigger than the other one. But like I said, I'm really glad that you guys want the stuff that I buy, because when I go to the flea markets, I debate on whether I should pick the things up or not, but I pretty much always am glad that I did, because you guys are really great about coming to my shop and taking the things off my hands. So I do appreciate you for that. Okay, so this is a different, they all three have a different end paper. This one is a green with little tiny dots on it. So the colors I'm using, I use alcohol inks to dye some tissue paper to make embellishments. And I used shades of blue and green and a little purple, but the purple, you have to be really careful, more careful than I was, because the purple kind of takes over. But since they're just for embellishments, I like the way it looks. And I'm hoping to have you come along on some craft with me's while I make some of the embellishments for the journals. But then yesterday I colored some copy paper, and instead of using coffee, I started out with Easter egg dye, because I bought an Easter egg kit when they were on clearance after Easter, but it was so pale. I mean, almost no color at all. Maybe I just had too much water, because those things are just made to put in a little cup, So I ended up adding gel food coloring that I had bought to make my homemade color sprays with. And I like that. So I think from now on, when I want to do colors, I'm just going to use my food coloring, because I've tried Kool-Aid and it's pretty pale too. And I don't want them to be dark, but I do want it to show some color. Now on the outside of this, so the colors I used of the food coloring were, again, some greens. Well, yeah, green and blue, and a purple. And the purple kind of took over again. I had to be careful with it. I just wanted hints of purple. So I hope it looks okay. So on this, I'm going to put some lace. I'm doing the same thing on all three books, but the picture that's on the front is going to be different on every one. So I have this pretty lace that I got from Hobby Lobby when it was half price. So I paid $1.50 for the roll, and it has 2 yards. So I'll glue that on, and then I'll glue some ribbon down the center of it. What was I talking about? Flea markets, did I get on beyond that? I am working on getting the laces that I bought at the flea market that you did see listed. I've got them measured and cut, but I have to sort them into whatever kind of units I'm going to sell them in, whether they're going to be combined or single or what. I think the antique ones, there's only a few yards of each of those, and I think they'll be separate, just 1 yard pieces of the antique ones. I think there were 3 different antique ones. And then we'll see how I arrange the other ones, but I'm hoping to get them in this week, but I am not promising. Depends on how much progress I make on these journals. I would really like to have these journals done this week. So this is a really pretty blue satin ribbon that I've had for a long time. I bought pretty ribbons when I was making cards, and I only used little tiny pieces in the cards, so I still had a lot of ribbon left and actually wasn't using it anymore too much. So I've started using it again. I've got things more organized in here. Pretty soon I'll have to do another room tour of my new organization, because I've had to add organization in other rooms upstairs here because of expanding my inventory, and when I buy stuff at flea markets I have to have a place to store it before I get it ready to sell, and also once it is in my shop I need places to store the things so I can find them quickly. So it's like every room in my house almost has Etsy shop stuff. So once I get things better organized, I can do a little tour, but it'll have to be, a tour around the house, at least upstairs, because I have Etsy stuff in 3 rooms upstairs. 3 rooms plus the hall. But it's in a pretty little stand in the hall. It is attractive. At least I think so. I'm just trimming off the little pieces that stick out over the edge. So there. That looks pretty. Whoops, pardon me. And I used up almost this ribbon, so I have a lighter shade that I'll have. I'm sorry, you weren't even seeing it. So that color, but I have a lighter shade that I can use on the 3rd book. So now, let me put I was going to put the lace on this one, but I won't make you watch me do that. I have ribbon on the inside of this one too, but I don't think I have any more of this shade of ribbon. I better go look. Nope, I don't think so. Oh wait. Oh, this one's darker yet. Well, which one should I put on here? going to make sure I have enough of this. I like the lighter one for the outside. Oh yeah, this is almost a full spool. Oh, that's a perfect color actually. Matches that really nicely. So that'll be for the outside of that book. And I'll glue some of this on the inside of this one. It's just nice to finish off the edges, I think. This is Stampin' Up! Ribbon. Didn't realize that. I don't know if the other one was. No, but these two are. I used to buy all the colored seam bindings from Stampin' Up! They don't have seam binding anymore. I haven't done a Stampin' or gone to a Stampin' Up! Party in a long time, so I don't even know what they have anymore, but I do know they stopped carrying the seam binding, but that's okay because I have other sources of seam binding now, which is another thing I have to get listed in my shop. I don't even know how many colors I have, but that's one of the things that I've been putting off because it'll take a lot of time to measure and cut the pieces and then get them listed. So I was thinking about I don't want that too far over because it has to bend. Yeah, that was too far over. That I was overwhelming myself with the flea market stuff because I get more before I'm even done processing what I got the last time, you know. So I was thinking about what I should do, and I was thinking that in the winter months when the flea markets are closed, I can continue processing. So it's okay to buy the stuff that I want to put in my shop or that I want to use myself and just set it aside till I have time to process it. And I can catch up on it in the winter months. So I think I'll try that. All right, so this one is decorated except for the image on the front. So I took my images, I did all the sewing that I needed to do so that I wouldn't have to try to go over to my sewing machine while I'm filming. So I just took Mrs. Cog's images. I think this one I got from Pinterest actually. Maybe both of these, but this one is Mrs. Cog's. And I sewed them to this really nice Stampin' Up! Cardstock, which is the perfect color for this. And then I added a couple pieces of the vintage lace that I just picked up at the flea market. And then I added, I don't know where I put them. Oh, here it is. I think somebody sent these to me. I added some of this white sparkly eyelash trim and then this blue and white. The ribbon is sparkly and then there's just a white thread that runs alongside it. When you cut a piece, they just come apart, but I kept them together and stitched the pieces along here. It kind of looks like sparkly seaweed. So that's what I did to these, and then I'm just gonna, this one's a little big. I should have trimmed it down a little bit, but I didn't. This one has a bigger branch of this plant, so I'll use the larger image on that. So I will use this one here. And I used coffee dyed cheesecloth. We're almost at half an hour here, people. Coffee dyed cheesecloth and some of this, I think it's called Night Sea eyelash trim. So how perfect is that? And this trim and other colors are in my shop. I will leave a link below to my shop. Ah, eyelash trim everywhere. Want a little bit sticking out at the bottom too. I said this was going to be a short video. Guess I was wrong. We'll just decorate the cover and then I'll let you go. And I just tuck this behind it and let the eyelashes stick out. These are long eyelashes on this trim. Something like that. It's kind of a small piece. This one's bigger, it might be too big. Alright, let's just start gluing. I guess I better put it on here. I told my post office people, my postal clerks yesterday, that I was very grateful to have such nice postal clerks since I have to go there so often. I'm there probably at least 3 times a week. And I have really nice people to deal with there. The young lady that I usually, that's usually at the counter, she and I have become friends, and she has a little boy that is the same age as my grandson, and they want to meet each other, so we're going to try to have a play date when I'm babysitting one day. Set up a play date for the kids, which is highly unusual for me. I don't usually, you know, go out of my way to make plans with people, because I am a homebody and I'm not really comfortable around people sometimes. People I don't know very well. I mean, and I know her in that postal setting. I wonder if she's going to watch this video. I think she watched one a long time ago, because I talked to her about what I make, because I'm always there mailing stuff, but I don't think she watches it. But it's okay, I'm not saying anything bad. So anyway, it's good actually, because, sorry you can't see what I'm doing. It's unusual for me to go out of my way to make plans like that. So that just means that I like her. And I do. I like her a lot. So I made sure I told them that I'm so thankful to have really nice postal people. Speaking of postal people, my mail should be here, but I don't think I have anything exciting ordered or coming my way. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's done. I might add a word. I'm not sure if I'm going to add a title, like a one-word title to these books or not. I'm going to figure that out later, but it's done for now. So I'm going to shut the camera off and finish decorating the other cover. And then a little later, once I've had the air conditioning on for a while, we'll come back and do some embellishments. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye-bye.